I think, and we have proven that a better way to do is that we've analyzed last 10 to 15 years of PYQ, both for prelim and for main. So we know now that there are some themes which are most loved by UPSC. We call them microthemes. So आपको पढ़ना सब है, but you have to give a lot of focus on those microthemes because you cannot afford to get those questions wrong. वो जो notes जो आपके क्लास के टॉपर ने बना रखे हैं, जो बेस्ट चैप्टर के नोट्स हैं, which are easily referenced, and he knows what exam teacher is going to ask, उसको पढ़ लो, बाकी बाद में देखना. This is how those themes and quality look. So you will see that we've taken 12 to 15 years of papers, scanned all the questions, and we now understand that कुछ themes में सबसे ज़्यादा सवाल आए. So judiciary, political theory, fundamental rights and duties, these have the most recurring questions ever. You have cities, UNESCO site, national park, rivers, mountain peaks, Ramsar site, mountain passes, glaciers and dams. So we have created maps of every section of India in such HD version that when you study from these maps, and you will increase your chances of getting the question right. And so when you write every week, and when we check your copies every week, we tell you where you're going wrong. Versus if you start right after prelims, you will end up wasting so much time that फिर संभालना मुश्किल है. This is the answer writing copy of Animesh Pradhan, his first ever answer. And this is a question on Samachar Manthan. So you get weekly current affairs and you get a few questions. What is meant by anti-dumping duty and how is it different from countervailing duty? Now he didn't know much about it. He has not read his economics. He has not completed his Big Four. He's only read basic current affairs stuff. And because of that, he missed up half of the, you read the comment, right? He missed up the whole second part, and he could not compare the two, difference between one and the other. But he kept writing, and look at how he achieved finally. This is his answer writing copy after prelims. Every part of his answer writing is pitch perfect. Now, in this session, I am not going to give you any simple gyan. Okay, so let me start from first the slides that I prepared for you, assuming you know a little bit about UPSC. Okay. I'm assuming thoda about UPSC research you guys would have done. You are aware of UPSC a little bit. You have seen YouTube videos, you've read a few rankers, seen few rankers chat. So ye teen cheezein you would all know, that you have to complete your reference books and NCERT very, very quickly. That you have to make one-pager notes which have to be backed by PYQ understanding, and that you need to start your answer writing from week 1. We know all these things, but trust me, it's much, much more difficult than how easily it's put in front of the screen to you. Okay. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make you understand how deeply important this thing is and how you get there bit by bit. Okay. Once you understand how important this part is, and it's slightly difficult, but once you understand how important this is, you will not forget it for the rest of your preparation. Otherwise, kya hoga? The flip side of this is you will just start with your NCERT and your reference books. You'll take like about 2-3 months, aram se leisurely karte. Then you'll pick up an optional, you'll drop that, you'll pick up another optional, because there's a lot of time you feel, right? Aisa nahi hai. You guys know, right? This year, top 38 ranks in top 100 are actually people who are in service only. I mean, this year, 38 out of 100 ranks are people who are in service. 0 people in top 100, I am told, are first attempt guys. What does it tell us? It tells us that UPSC aspirants are basically now even fighting for 1 mark. Nothing is left to chance. They are not trying to be like casual with their preparation. Ki aaram se padhte hain, and then soon I'll get into the groove of things, then I'll have my study partner, then I'll go to some place, and then slowly. Aisa kuch nahi hai. You have to be like rigorous from day one. And I'll show you how rigorous you have to be theoretically. Let's deep dive on this. Okay. Pehle, this we all know in the prelims exams that a lot of questions come from NCERT. We've been told that. I'm going to show you that it's not very easy to get those questions right. Okay. The right side, in this system, can you tell me which NCERT is this from? If you guys have read geography on NCERT. Anyone who's flipped the geography book? It's class 11. Okay, बहुत simple है. But if you read this paragraph very intently, right, you will see a lot of information is packed here, which gets asked by the exam. तो ऐसे बोलना ना कि there's everything in NCERT and you just read your NCERT better and you will be able to solve the question is very easy. In this way, there's a lot of stuff in NCERT. आप कब तक कैसे पढ़ते रहोगे? So you will have to have some order of prioritizing things for yourselves, ना? चीजें फॉर यूपीएससी प्रायोरिटाइज ऐसे होती हैं कि एनसीईआरटी कोर बुक में है विच इज अवेलेबल फॉर ऑल ऑफ इंडिया. Then those things are coming in the news a lot in the last 2-3 years, both qualitatively and quantitatively. ठीक है. And then your notes are prepared, or whoever is giving you the notes, they are in such a way that that priority order is set. ठीक है. Thirdly, you know which micro themes are most favorite of UPSC. UPSC का syllabus, if you would have looked, it's like a lot of things, right? Some things are very abstract, some things are not even defined properly. And 2-4 साल पहले तक तो लोग कहते थे have the UPSC syllabus stuck in front of your wall, have it pasted on the wall, memorize it by heart. But I think, and we have proven that a better way to do is that we've analyzed last 10 to 15 years of PYQs, both for prelims and for main. So we know now that there are some themes which are most loved by UPSC. We call them microthemes. So आपको पढ़ना सब है, but you have to give a lot of focus on those microthemes because you cannot afford to get those questions wrong. That's like the smarter way. So if there are engineers in the group, that's how we used to do engineering exam prep. कि वो जो नोट्स जो आपके क्लास के टॉपर ने पढ़ा बना रखे हैं, जो जो बेस्ट चैप्टर के नोट्स हैं, विच आर इजीली रेफरेंस एंड ही नोज व्हाट एग्जाम टीचर इज गोइंग टू आस्क, उसको पढ़ लो, बाकी बाद में देखेंगे. So now this simple question, another one, river plus dam, the Dulhasti power station is based on which of the following rivers? Now generally you will see two kind of maps. One would be Indian dams and one would be the map of Indian rivers. You will never get a map in market or in your textbook which has these superimposed on each other. You'll not, because books are not written for you to clear UPSC. वो तो UPSC has now started asking questions which are disconnected. So what do we do? Whenever such question arise, which like this, which one of the following river does not originate in India? अपने पास फिल्म्स में तीन ही ऑप्शन होते हैं. Either you attempt, or you guess, or you skip. Now, depending upon how good our prelims attempts are going in the actual paper, we will either take a jugadu tukka, or we will know what the answer is, or we'll skip it. I am going to tell you that there is a method to madness. अब इस वाली स्लाइड को देखो, ठीक है. इसका ट्रू आंसर ये है कि सतलुज रिवर however does not originate in India. It originates from Lake Rakshasthal in Tibet. ठीक है. So the river which does not originate in India is Satluj. Now ये वाली detail I can give you from here also. यहाँ पढ़ लो आप. इसमें if you can remember, and if you remember on the exam day, then you will be able to take this question right. But that would be like very cruel on my part कि सब कुछ याद वहां से कर लो. Let me tell you, when this question came in the exam in 2010, it was in news 3 times. ठीक है. अब इस क्वेश्चन के साथ कुछ कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स भी हैं. इस क्वेश्चन में there is nothing, you can't use elimination technique. Either you know or you don't know. ठीक है. And so you have to, दो चीजें रह जाती हैं फिर. या तो you would have read this in news multiple times over. So किशन गंगा हाइड्रोइलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट 2008 में it was in news. Bulab Raj 2009 में it was in news. There were diplomatic tensions after 2611 Act. So these rivers were somewhere in the news. ठीक है. या फिर you are studying from notes where such things are highlighted to you very, very carefully. That boss, there are only 5 such rivers which have outside India origin. So at least usko yaad kar lo. These are like, interesting trivias across different subjects which you should remember. Or over time of your preparation, it will stay in your mind if they're positioned or talked to you in that way. So this is how we teach our kids. I mean, when you become part of UAP, this is how you would know. Indus, Brahmaputra, Satluj, लास्ट की 2 नदियां आई डोंट थिंक आपको पता होंगी, ऊपर की 3 पता भी होंगी. तो इनके ओरिजिन्स आर आउट ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है. एंड दैट इज हाउ यू इंक्रीज योर चांसेस. देन यू सी द राइट साइड पे वही वाला पैराग्राफ है जो इतना हेवी वेट था एनसीईआरटी पे. हमने क्या किया, एनसीईआरटी के सारे ज्योग्राफी के मैप्स लिए एंड वी सुपर इम्पोज देम ऑन ईच अदर. तो अगर आप ये मैप देखोगे, यू गाइस आर विद मी राइट ऑन दिस. आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ पीवाईक्यू एंड ट्राइंग टू टेल यू उसको सही करने में व्हाट डज इट टेक फ्रॉम एन एस्पिरेंट. ठीक है. आई एम ट्राइंग टू गिव यू अ स्नीक पीक दैट इफ यू हैव टू क्लियर द एग्जाम, प्लीज डू नॉट फॉल फॉर दी सिंपल नैरेटिव्स लाइक एनसीईआरटी पढ़ लो हो जाएगा. वो ऑब्वियसली एनसीईआरटी में ही है कुछ कुछ चीजें, बट you need now almost like you need 3-4 different ways in which that same information reaches out to you. So NCERT, obviously, you will read on your own. Then you will be giving exams. उसमें से सवाल आ गया तो. Then you have to look at the maps. And now those maps have to be superimposed. Those maps can't be existing in different pieces. एक river का map है, एक dams का map है. There's a wildlife sanctuary map. There's a UNESCO heritage. There's a Ramasar site map. There'll be like 15 different maps. How will you keep mapping? If you've seen the PYQs, now they ask, right, which river originates or passes through this national park or that national park. Are you guys with me? किसने थोड़े बहुत भी PYQs देखे हैं यहाँ पे? Guys, anyone? I mean, feel, come on the video, guys. This is like one of the seminars which will actually give you what UPSC is all about. Okay, and how do you make it less challenging than it already is? Thank you for participating. So we have created SuperMaps like this. Now, if in this map you will see on the top right, the legend, you have cities, UNESCO site, national park, rivers, mountain peaks, Ramasar site, mountain passes, glaciers, and dams. So we have created maps of every section of India in such HD version that when you study from these maps, I mean, you will increase your chances of getting the question right. Okay. इतने simple चीजों में ना, that is how rankers and toppers behave when they study. अभी तो शुरुआती हुई. तो ऐसे करते करते think of it like this. We don't simply tell you that you do your NCERTs dhang se in the first 2 months. We show you how you do it. We give you the right kind of maps on which you can actually remember things. Then we also provide you with notes which will highlight these interesting trivia. And I'll talk about the notes later. But bit by bit, chapter by chapter, this is how you have to grow in confidence. Okay. Now let's come to the second part that everyone has heard on YouTube. You have to make one-pager notes. Every ranker, after they get the rank, they share their one-pager notes on Telegram, right? Have you downloaded any? And have you found out that they're slightly difficult to follow? Have you guys downloaded ranker notes before, anywhere? Even Animesh, who studied with us, when we scanned his notes, and we have Hemant Mishra, who was ranked 13 this year, he got 20 marks more than the rank one in mains. Okay, that's how good he was with his main preparation. If you look at their notes, it's not easy to understand. It's because उन्होंने अपने notes अपने हिसाब से बनाए. Those notes made sense for them. And those notes are the 6th version of their iteration. So we went to Animesh Ghar, Delhi mein. He was working at IOCL. And we saw how many times he iterated with the notes. So it's very difficult for you to understand the notes. Now, if you are reading NCERT, this is how we have annotated NCERTs for you. तो अपन ने क्या किया है, NCERT में अलग अलग टाइप के फैक्ट्स होते हैं. Some facts have a direct one-on-one connect with already a PYQ has come. Some facts are very counterintuitive. ठीक है, like आप इसमें देखोगे ना, animal bones found in Harappa sites included those of cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, and pigs. You will see बाकी animal no, और यहाँ पे देखो no mention of cow at any site इधर. But we would assume cow है because इतना सुनते रहते हैं हम. But NCERT will give you the fact it was not there. Then there'll be some things which can be easily converted into a diagram and you can remember it. So we have 3-4 kinds of highlighting done in the NCERT itself so that your NCERTs are much more richer. तो एक बार खुद तो पढ़ोगे ही, but you will have a benefit of the hindsight. वरना ये सब काम खुद करना पड़ेगा. And काम करने को बहुत है. The whole point is that there's a lot to be done. You don't have to spend so much time recreating the stuff which is easy for us to do for you. Same way, rivers के जो अभी मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिखाया था, we have then perfected the one-pager notes for you. ठीक है, तो 10 years, 10 साल के PYQs देख के we realize कि there are some 12 dimensions which UPSC will ask in the river. And they look like this. So, first page, you will have prelims PYQs so that you have some idea. ठीक है, अभी ऐसा टाइम खत्म हो गया कि आप पहले you read the books अलग से and then you are doing the PYQs and then you make your own notes, then you figure out, oh, I missed this in the note. I didn't even think it was so important to factor in the text in my note making. That time is gone now. So we've already made sure that our one-pager notes are such that they're ready for you to revise. And they have a direct semblance and relation with the PYQs. So you don't feel like you're not in a doubt that what am I studying? Is it relevant with UPSC or not? You're always in the know. Yes, UPSC has gone for this thing in the past. So it's likely it'll go again. Okay. And like we'll have a lot of notes, like for every topic, for every subject. We'll have notes for pre differently and for mains differently because both are different demands. Okay. Now let's come to the point about daily news. How many of you are following any kind of daily news? And where are you following daily news from? Guys, thoda bahut to you'll have to come out on chat. Otherwise, uh, anyone who's inquiring about the program, the mentoring team who's also on the call, they will reply to that. Okay. How many of you are reading Hindu for yourself versus watching a YouTube video? Really? And there's no judgment. So whatever you're doing, you tell me so that we can talk through that. उसका फायदा क्या है, नुकसान क्या है, वगैरह वगैरह. A lot of things in UPSC preparation, by the way, we do because it's psychologically comforting. Because these are age-old things which have been told to us by our elders. So we keep doing the same thing, hoping that it will one day crack me open, right? We think that it will one day compound and it will give me an idea. Oh, this is what's going on. Now I understand. It took me like 20 days to do basic stuff. Okay. Our popular opinion at Civilsdaily is that please don't spend more than 30 minutes on the daily news unless and until you've done your big four subjects properly. You will not get much out of that. Yes, we have mentoring in Hindi medium also, Arjun. There's a team behind the Zoom. They'll get to you. Okay. Abhishek or Bharti, if you're there, can you ask Nisha to drop in the link so that the people who are inquiring, they can talk to the team? Let me continue with the session. Okay. Now, ab ye dekho. There was the way Civilsdaily does these things is this. We take a week minimum for a news to develop into something. Okay. Now we know, because we know all the PYQs by heart, we know how UPSC has asked questions. We know that there has never been a question directly on India-EU relationship. But if you don't know this, you will read these heavyweight articles written by, policymakers, op-ed writers, editorial writers in depth, and you'll end up wasting your time. Correct? Because it's an important piece of information, and you will think that UPSC goes for these kind of things, but it doesn't. What we do when we make up the final news summary and we have a burning issue magazine is that we try to understand what is the hoopla about, what's the main crux about, what is this FTA 2.0, how has the relationship between India and EU since independence, what's been our forever pain points, have we ever addressed them, and if we've tried, how successful were we? ठीक है, व्हाट इज द इकोनॉमिक डिप्लोमेसी जिसके पे ये न्यूज आई थी अभी बहुत सारी, एंड क्या क्या पता होना चाहिए. सो वी ट्राई टू टेल द न्यूज टू यू in the context of UPSC, not in the context of a general reader. And for us to do that to you, we need a minimum of a week for a news to become at that level. Am I audible, everyone? Right? Once we do that, then we make notes like these for you. So just take a few moments to read through this, and you'll understand how we've broken down the eras. तो अभी ऐसे करके when Nishit sir will teach you in the Samachar Manthan classes, you will get a much better understanding than going through op-eds every day, trying to figure out in bits and pieces. They'll use some economic term, they'll use some IR term, they'll talk about something which is a very short-term opinion, and you probably will be swayed by it. But ऐसे देखोगे, just spend a minute on this, यार. और बताओ कोई सवाल है इस पे अभी तो. You don't have to make notes from these. These are the notes which will be given to you. This is a part of the Burning Issue magazine, which we release from Civilsdaily. So we think that in a month, there are only 20 issues at max, which require in-depth understanding for mains. 15 to 20. तो समझ लो पूरे साल भर में 200 से ज्यादा इश्यूज ही नहीं है जिनमें सवाल बन सकते हैं. And when we do those issues, we do them in proper depth. ये देखो. This is more like a static understanding कि ये सब हुआ है इंडिया यू में. This is like now challenges. there is no need for one pager notes if you follow flash notes. Correct. Okay. Then you have back to basic section. Again, some static. There's a lot of static things which you will find in the exam which are not in course books now. Okay. Course books have not been updated to a level जो चीजें theory बन गई. So Indian economic diplomacy, you will not be reading it in any economics books or a policy book. So then you need some fundamental understanding of what it means. Once you understand India's economic diplomacy, then India, US, India, China, India, EU, any country, and you will be able to understand, okay, now I look at it in this lens. And when a question comes, you will be able to answer that. मैं थोड़ा आगे बढ़ता हूँ. I don't want you to get like overwhelmed by the content. ये सब आसान है. Teachers teach you this thing. What I'm trying to prove is that do not spend so much time on current affairs by yourself. It's confusing when you are starting out. It gets easy when you progress next. Okay. Now let me come back to the basic stuff. 2027 के हिसाब से I made the deck so that people who are writing in 2026 you will have slightly less a month. But this is how your first year will look like. Okay. In the first year, you will be chasing depth. Okay. You will first do your reference books properly. NCERTs हो गया, basic books होगी, Lakshmikant, and all the book lists which will be given to you. Side by side, every weekend, you will be reading, you will be attending Samachar Manthan sessions. So in that session, you will have some idea of current affairs, the topic which are most matured, and you will start writing answers. Very bad answers, but that's completely okay. Okay. But you will start to gain some depth. So क्या होता है? First phase is just big four. You will get annotated NCERT. You'll get some task every week from your mentor. You'll have to complete them, show it to him. You progress next. Phase two, you start with your optional. We don't do optional at Civilsdaily as yet, but wherever you do optional, you start focusing on your optional. Okay, from October onwards, not before. Abhi bilkul big four ka time hai. Abhi you have to. What are the big fours? I hope you guys know what big four subjects are. Can anyone just write? Yeah. Politics, geography, history, economics. Environment nahi hai. Okay, cool. So you guys know that environment is not in big four. In fact, tell me the subjects which no one does when they start, or at least before the prelims is cleared. Mostly no one even touches them. Governance, security, environment, very few people touch. IR, correct, disaster management. Right, so you guys know stuff. Okay. Then comes the third phase where you have GS-wise mains microtheme that have overlap with prelims. Okay, so we are very practical. We want you to clear your UPSC attempt in one or maximum two. उससे ऊपर का नहीं game है. ठीक है. So then we'll start coaching you on those PYQs microtheme. I'll show you next. Second year will be all about assessments. We will make you write so many questions that will become your default muscle. For the GS subjects, GS में या तो 150 words के सवाल आते हैं या फिर 250 words सवाल आते हैं, right? And GS के questions लिखने का world over एक तरीका है intro, body, conclusion, which mostly people know. It's not that simple. We will make you understand the theme and demand of the question first by looking at the keywords. And then we'll give you enough X factor content that तुम सवाल देखते हैं आंसर करना शुरू कर दोगे. So second year will be all about assessments. It will be first, prelims, and then it will be mains. This is the time when the prelims results have come and we have mains module going on for the people who are going to write the mains. And I just took the essay class. And agar time milta hai, to I'll show you the depth of essay class that we've taken. So inputs in the UAP program are this. You will have 54 weeks of current affairs preparation with Nishit sir and Purnima ma'am. Every week you will be given 5 questions to write answers. The reason, one of the very important reason why Animesh could clear his UPSC with rank 2 in the first attempt while doing job was because he was just sticking to this much. He was a working professional. He was just sticking to this. 50 Samachar Manthan test, 25 prelim test, 12 smash mains and 10 essay tests. Okay? You will have one-on-one feedback on anything and everything that you do, and I'll show you the frameworks of our feedback. ऐसे नहीं है कि सिर्फ डाउट के लिए कॉल कर लिया. Proper, almost school level की report card बनाते हैं, so that you know where you're going. Okay? I show you the. दिख रहा है सबको ये? These are the students with one of our mentors, Avdut sir. Okay, he's based out of Pune. Every student, whenever there is a call, we make detailed mentor comments about what that person has done, what that session was. Was it an online session? Was it an offline session? Meaning, was it a Zoom call like this? Was it in-person meeting? Was it just a call? Was it a WhatsApp? Everything. And then the fourth column, we were talking about interventions. क्या किया हमने सेशन में, पोस्ट डिस्कशन हुआ, targets have been assigned, what happened. Internally, we also profile you guys. We try to gauge your potential. So this potential is normal. This potential is normal. Then there is a potential of border. Some students are very serious and very sincere. Some are not. Accordingly, internally, we maintain everything. This is shared between you and the mentor. Okay. Then this is a student journey. There's a student called Aniket Ramesh Pawar. This is his whole journey. Look, he joined us on 24th of August. Is my screen visible to everyone? Give me a comment, yes. दिख रही है स्क्रीन, दिख रही है, पढ़ने में आ रहा है? ठीक है. So orientation call. Now this was an art student, I believe. So he was, and इसका तुम देखोगे ऊपर, the potential is of a ranker level potential. दिख रहा है? Status regular. Last call हुई थी very recently. Potential ranker level है. Course is ultimate assessment program. ठीक है. So orientation call, he was given history targets that happened on call. Assessment progress was given. In the third call, assessment progress and tests were given. Then Samachar Manthan, the SM discussion is weekly Samachar Manthan discussion test. He has been continuously keeping in touch week over week. And that is where we tag you as a ranker level potential person. Okay. At the same time, there would be few people who would ghost us. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, for some reasons you might have a personal issue, or you might just have lost the motivation, or for some reason or the other you end up pausing your preparation. अभी भी हुआ होगा, if you're preparing by yourself, you'll get tired or it'll be disappointing or whatever, right? Whenever that happens, we put on the column DNP, meaning did not pick. The reason given was college exam. A lot of college students also work with us. Again, DNP. Then he started becoming regular. Then again DNP. And then finally we tag them as ghost. If we know that you're missing your targets, we will then reach out to you. Okay, we'll reach out to you with emails like this. And these are real emails. A mentor has tried to reach out to you several times, but it seems you have not connected in weeks. What we then give you is, let's study like you want to study. Then the whole mentorship head reaches out to you and we say, kya chal raha hai, kya nahi ho raha baat, and let's understand where you are in life. And according to you, we'll make your timetable. Look at how Shivani came back. Due to some problems, I had a little break from my studies. Again, I started my preparation. Hope you understand. Very real talks. This is how UPSC journey is like. Same. I'm writing to express my gratitude for the guidance, support, and all materials I received during preparation. And we restart the preparation. These are the पीछे का जो मैं तुम्हें दिखा रहा हूँ कि अब इस बंदे का पोटेंशियल नॉर्मल है because he had so many DNPs. But this is where you understand how the rigor with the mentorship system should be. So the mentorship, wherever you take, if you get to choose Civilsdaily for your mentorship journey, it has to be this rigorous and nothing else. Okay, let me get back to the main webinar where I tell you all kya different aspects hote of your preparation journey. We covered current affairs. We told you that Samachar Manthan mein you will get handout, you will get the class assessments. All those class assessments will be shared by your mentor and he will be basically checking all that stuff with you. Okay. And we did NCERT, we already spoke. And this is something you'll get on the day one. We understand the depth at which NCERTs are supposed to be followed and we've annotated it exactly like that. Uske baad pura highlight guide hai. Then let me tell you the mentorship ka microtheme platform. So I told you that there are some themes which are most rigorously checked. This is how those themes in polity look like. So you will see that we've taken 12 to 15 years of papers, tagged all the questions, and we now understand that कुछ themes में सबसे ज़्यादा सवाल आए. So judiciary, political theory, fundamental rights and duties, these have the most recurring questions ever. you will get all the access to these platforms, so that if you're preparing this particular topic from any of the reference books or from the flash notes or X Factor notes, you know it has to be given a lot of importance, because our assessments will also be based on this. And then along with the micro theme, if you want to see क्या क्या सवाल आए वो भी वहीं पे खुल जाएगा. So basically, we'll tell you what's important, we'll tell you why it's important, and both the question and their answers will be given to you on the platform. The left side of this panel is basically all the subjects. So you can pick and choose which subject you want to focus on, and you will do it. Then comes the burning issue magazine, which I already told you about. Burning issues are like top 20 issues of the months, which you need to prepare at the mains level. Magazine basically takes every issue like bulldozer justice and profiles it across the 4 GS papers. ठीक है, तो अगर आप ये देखोगे, you have GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 linkage from a simple topic. This is how you need to also study, so that if a question comes, you know which key term to apply on that paper. Ethics का आंसर लिखना है तो उसमें बुलडोजर जस्टिस को कैसे प्रेजेंट करना पड़ेगा. Atomic notes are given to you for prelims. These are like notes which are very prelims worthy. Okay, so prelims may you'll not have a lot of analysis paralysis. Simple bullet point atomic notes are given to you. If you have a feel of reading like this, you'll love them. Then come the X Factor notes. Now, once you've cleared the prelims exam, this is the time when Smash Mains sessions will be held, which is happening right now for those people who are appearing for this mains. And these sessions are held comprehensively. इसमें से कुछ topics ऐसे होते हैं which are not even given in your normal reference book, which I've already told you, right? Flash notes again for prelims. We've converted NCERTs and your normal textbooks into the flash notes. So this is how a polity flash note looks like on the right side. On the left side is Lakshmikant. No, I think this is NCERT. And that's it. This is the bedrock of the academic rigor, which you should go through as well. If you want, even if you want to do self-study, तीन चीजें नहीं भूलनी है. एक, NCERTs annotated पढ़ो. NCERTs को PYQ से link करना सीखो. Second, try to make either your own one-pager note or get one-pager notes and just keep reading them. Okay. Third, start your answer writing from day one. Write very bad answers, but get them checked from your mentors, and just he will tell you how to improve. Trust me, I am taking essay classes of repeat rankers, people who've already in service, and they're still missing out on proper English flow, proper anecdotes, anything which will get them above average mark. So if you're a repeat ranker, you have to fight for every mark and to get to the next level. ठीक है, वो भी नहीं हो पाता है क्योंकि फंडामेंटल सही नहीं होते. And then some feel good stuff, right? You'll get a diary which you have to maintain, and you share that with your mentor. क्या किया, क्या नहीं किया, etc., etc. So that your preparation is fun, and we have an idea on how your mental headspace is also going on. This is like 1 year of pura academic rigor, yaar. You guys can't just be like reading and reading and reading. So you come and chat with us. We'll tell you I can show you the heavy stuff also right now, but this is it. This is more or less the seminar. Now tell me if you have any specific question, and I'll go in depth. How about the 5-year daily routine? Komal, and I think someone else also asked me. Dekho, a simple slide I could have made is just I could have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, just do some achar mantra and this R number 1, then do your static, then do this. वो कहीं help नहीं करता. I'm trying to make you understand the fundamentals. 3 चीजें बहुत important है. पहला, your NCERT and reference book have to be read side by side with the PYQs. Second, please understand microthemes are very, very important. Very, very important. It's almost like if you want to get hacks, read less and get more marks, focus on microthemes. Third, answer writing from day one. Let me see if I have answer writing copies of rankers. चलो मैं तुमको एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज दिखाता हूँ. I was telling you, right? अगर लोग ऐसे फॉलो नहीं करते हैं, okay. Essays तो कोई भी नहीं पढ़ता है शुरू में, but I'm just going to show you that many of these answer copies are of repeat rankers. Okay. Question of essay was, the whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. This is the level of essays जो UPSC में आते हैं. Now, The correct way to understand this essay topic is कि mirrors matlab I'm looking at my own reflection. So my ego, my belief system, my biases. Correct? And windows matlab if you remember Gandhi ji ki quote hai, open the windows and let the fresh air come in. Basically fresh ideas from all around the world come in. So true meaning of education is basically to convert mirrors into windows. ठीक है? समझ में आ गया सबको? नाउ थोड़ा बहुत करते हैं आंसर्स लोगों ने जो लिखे हैं वो पढ़ने का ट्राई करते हैं वैसे दिखेगा नहीं ओके वन ऑफ द पर्सन एंड दीज आर पीपल हु आर अटेम्प्टिंग मेंस बाय द वे ठीक है ये फ्रेशर्स नहीं है दीज आर नॉट बिगिनर्स दे आर फ्रेश प्रॉपर मेंस पीपल हु क्लियर प्रीलिम्स ही सेज लेट्स गो बैक इन द एंशिएंट टाइम्स there lived a man well trained in criminal activities looting people thugging and all that. His wife saw him as a demon and refused to share house with him, but he could not understand this behavior of hers as if his mind was blocked by mirrors. But one day Narad Muni met him and educated him in the true sense of life. And then he became Sage Valmiki. ये कहानी सुनी होगी आप लोगों ने कहीं ना कहीं. But this is a bad example for this essay. And so when you write every week and when we check your copies every week, we tell you where you're going wrong. Versus if you start right after prelims, you will end up wasting so much time that फिर संभालना मुश्किल हो जाता है. This is, yeah, okay, good. This is the answer writing copy of Animesh Pradhan. First answer, his first ever answer. And this is a question on Samachar Manthan. So you get weekly current affairs and you get a few questions. What is meant by anti-dumping duty and how is it different from countervailing duty? Now, he didn't know much about it. He has not read his economics. He has not completed his Big Four. He's only read basic current affairs stuff. And because of that, he missed up half of the, you read the comments, right? He missed up the whole second part. And he could not compare the two, difference between one and the other. But he kept writing. And look at how he achieved finally. This is his answer writing copy after prelims. Every part of this answer writing is pitch perfect. Not just that, he's gone beyond the call of duty. Question में सिर्फ Annie Besant and Charles Andrew के बारे में पूछा है. He's written about other also. Oh, where is he? Oh God. Yeah. Not only has he talked about Annie Besant ने क्या किया and Charles Andrew ने क्या किया, and look at how he's used diagrams because he had so much fodder to write. He has also gone beyond the call, and that is why he could score the maximum in mains. And I am trying to tell you, this is not magic. This is the same guy who wrote this answer. 1 year later, he's the same guy who wrote this answer while he was in job. He figured out his own 5-hour module, but it was anchored by the mentor. So mentor बताता था कि boss तेरे weekly targets ही हैं. If you don't do it, you will fall behind the race. His mother was terminally ill. His sister got married in between during his preparation, and so he had to take some time out. He has to frequently fly back to Odisha and come to Delhi. So all that is factored then, and a timetable very personal to you is shared. That is the only true way in which UPSC preparation gets done. And these are the marks. See, उसके interview में 175 थे. And look at how he scored. Essay 133. Every other damn thing he aced. That is what a successful attempt looks like. Okay, cool, awesome. So now that's the end of the webinar. If you have any questions, please ask. If you have any question that you want to ask out loud, I can also unmute you. Shivam says, anything you could share for retaining what one read till exam as it gets burdensome to keep up with subject? Yeah, it does. That's a real problem. And that is why, I right now with you. That even for a simple question, ye wala. Even for this simple question, if I just tell you, hey, it's in the NCERT, you should have remembered this. That is very stupid from a teacher or my perspective. I should be giving you stuff like this. Ki boss Shivam, this Nadi seems to be like a lot in news because of these reasons. And also there is an interesting trivia around this. ये याद रख ले. हिंदी मीडियम की तैयारी भी ऐसी होती है यार. अर्जुन, अंकेश, we have the mentoring program in Hindi as well. Same content is translated and shared to you in Hindi. जिस लेवल पे इंग्लिश वालों के साथ काम होता है उसी लेवल पे हिंदी वालों के साथ काम होता है. I would request my team to drop in the link and so you'll understand that. स्टडी प्लान ऑफ अनिमेश प्रधान, वो मैंने बताया अभी इसलिए नहीं दिखाया क्योंकि उसका भी क्या करोगे आप. दिस इज द स्टडी प्लान at the end, like towards the end of the whole his journey. तो and इसने क्या किया था, दिन को 4 स्लॉट में डिवाइड किया. उसके बाद he need to make sure that whatever he is doing on 16 Jan gets revised on 2 days later and then another day later. So his full plan was a predictable plan. So the advantage of having such a plan is that you don't have to worry आज मैं कल क्या करूंगा या परसों क्या करूंगा. Everything is planned technically. So you can just look at the plan. Acha, tomorrow or day after in the evening slot, I'm going to do this, and then it's sorted. That gives some comfort. Yeah, you can start from scratch with UAP, but if you have no idea about any of the subjects, then I would recommend that you go for our foundation program. उसमें भी साथ में UAP के mentors होते हैं, so that you take those live classes, and at the same time you start writing answers. कोचिंग कर रहा हूँ, क्या मैं ज्वाइन कर सकता हूँ? आप कहाँ से कोचिंग कर रहे हो अर्जुन? एनसीईआरटी बुक 6 to 12 नहीं पढ़ना है, सिर्फ 11-12 की काफी होती है अंकेश. अब जिधर से भी कोचिंग कर रहे हो, अगर वहां पे फाउंडेशन कोर्स करा दिया है, देन यू कैन डायरेक्टली ज्वाइन यूएपी. एक्स फैक्टर नोट्स इनफ है जीएस के लिए. एक्स फैक्टर नोट्स, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, इट्स द एडवांस लेवल स्टफ. तो पहले तो तुम्हें मिलेंगे भी नहीं अभी, इफ यू आर स्टार्टिंग राइट नाउ. पहले तो बेसिक बुक्स एंड कोर बुक्स खत्म करो. एनसीईआरटी, एनोटेटेड एंड व्हाट फ्लैश नोट्स मिलेंगे. एक्स फैक्टर नोट्स आर फॉर मेंस प्रिपरेशन. ठीक है, नॉट फॉर एनीथिंग एल्स. ओके गाइस, दैट इज देन. दिल्ली से कोचिंग कर रहे हो, प्लीज टॉक टू अस ऑन व्हाट्सएप. Okay, Ankit, I got 925 in CC, missed by 23 marks and could not clear prelims. Oh God. Okay. Ankit Kumar Agarwal, please talk to us. Talk to Nisha. You got a call from us. We'll see what we can do for you. Okay, you have a very difficult journey, it seems, in UPSC. Ankit, can you come online on audio and can you tell me? Or Abhi, raise your hand and I'll unmute you. अगर नहीं है तो लेट्स टॉक ऑफलाइन. ठीक है. फेयर ऑफ आंसर राइटिंग, सुमित, कोई उसका और तरीका नहीं है यार. आई ऑलरेडी. ओके अंकित, लेट मी अनम्यूट यू. हे अंकित.
Yeah, good evening, sir. This is Ankit
Good
Agarwal.
evening. Can you switch on your video?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, this was regarding the message that I posted you here. Like in the 4th attempt, I got cleared the prelims for the first time. Initial 2 attempts were like this only, like while preparation in Indian oil. It was very haphazard, so it was just like that only. In the 3rd attempt, I missed by 1.1 marks in prelims, and in the 4th attempt, I got clear prelims and mains, like the forest cutoff also. It was just 1.1 marks more. So I got around 741 marks in mains and 184 in interview. So
Okay.
like 925 it was in total, and 948 was the general cutoff for overall mains. So overall, so इसमें सर ये था. एंड अभी इस बार तो सर वही 85 to 90 आ रहे थे. बट आई डोंट नो, सम थिंग्स बहुत सारे फ्रेंड्स के साथ भी हुआ है, इवन जो साथ में इंटरव्यू भी दिए थे. तो वो तो सर अभी का तो नहीं क्लियर हो रहा है सर. बट अभी सर वही लग रहा है कि राइट नाउ पिछले 10-15 दिन में तो सारी जितनी चीजें थी, जितने कोर्सेज थे, प्रिपरेशन इस बार के मेंस के लिए चल रहे थे. एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन इट लुक्स लाइक कि अगेन देयर इज अ वैक्यूम. एक महीने पहले सर आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग अ रैंक फ्रॉम दैट टू नॉट इवन क्लियरिंग प्रीलिम्स. सो इट वाज समथिंग लाइक कि वही था सर. तो उस बारे में ही सर.
ठीक है, तो देख, we'll help you in any which way we can. You speak to Nisha and I'll speak to her also after you spoken there. But पहले यहाँ पे बता कि what all mistakes you figured out कि नहीं करनी है this attempt में, या क्या क्या तूने देखा है वो चीजें which basically digress you from your core path, which you should not have done in the hindsight. ये वाली awareness आ गई है, ये analysis कर ली खुद की.
Like was in prelims sir or in the overall mains?
Overall means overall preparation, like
overall sir मेरा I had scored a very low marks in and like my optional anthropology, so it was only 220 marks. So had it been more than 50-70, so I.
How much did you get in your GS 4 papers?
It was 401 marks.
Okay, So we need to get that to 450 plus, यार.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. You should focus on mains right now.
Yes, sir.
है ना? I have an essay group. I'm just going to drop the link of that essay group here for everyone who wants to. And we're discussing only hardcore heavyweight stuff there. और क्योंकि तुम तो दे चुके हो, I'm dropping it here. ठीक है? It's a free group. Anyone can join. That's close to 5,000 people. We're discussing only one framework for essay, which is dialectic framework, thesis and synthesis, antithesis synthesis framework, nothing else. बाकी सारे पेस्टल वेस्टल सब बकवास हैं. टाइम वेस्ट करोगे तो मत पढ़ना वो. ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
देखो 450 से ऊपर लाने हैं, पढ़ेंगे जीएस मेंस में. ठीक है?
Definitely, sir.
और है ना, ऑप्शनल का तो तू देख ले भाई. एंथ्रो आई हैव नो आइडिया. ठीक है?
नहीं सर, वो हो जाता
ये
लाइक सिंस लास्ट ईयर भाई मैं फर्स्ट मेन, सो उसमें प्रिपरेशन भी चूंकि 2-3 प्रीलिम्स नहीं निकले थे, तो ऑल फोकस वाज ऑन क्लियरिंग प्रीलिम्स ओनली. So the time I got cleared prelims, so I whatever I had scored in mains was just 3 months only, जितना मैं कर पाया था. और मुझे लीव पूरी नहीं मिली, तो उस हिसाब से सर I thought कि I have performed well. I could have done better definitely, but इस बार ये था सर कि चूंकि everything was the base was set, so if I could have cleared then probably कुछ और होता, but again back to square one.
I know this thing happens. It's like this is the sad reality and unexpectedness in the exam. And yes, so but kudos to you कि तू वही in the second day आके बात कर रहा है. I mean, I know a lot of people who've just gone in hiding and because they've not been able to come to terms with this kind of defeat. I know a lot of people. ठीक है? So I would like for everyone out here who's writing attempt 26-27, this is what strength of कोई इरादों के पक्के जो लोग होते हैं ना, वो क्लोज टू अंकित कुमार अग्रवाल लग रहे होते हैं. ठीक है? वरना टूट जाती है कमर. आई हैव स्पोकन टू रैंकर्स पर्सनली. ठीक है? सो जस्ट स्टे ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट.
एक महीने पहले सर इंटरव्यू का जब रिजल्ट आया था, तो इट वाज वेरी हार्ड फीलिंग बिकॉज आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग समथिंग नॉट वेरी इवन गुड रैंक, बट इट वाज समथिंग लाइक कि कुछ तो रैंक आती, बट वो नहीं हुआ. उसके एक महीने बाद अगेन बैक टू सेम थिंग, तो अभी इट्स वेरी हार्ड फीलिंग काइंड ऑफ.
भाई अंकित, आज तो देख ले ये रिकॉर्डेड जूम सेशन में ये कहानी है. मतलब ये होता है बहुत बार. एंड लेट्स ट्राई टू कन्वर्ट दिस लास्ट अटेम्प्ट इनटू योर रैंक अटेम्प्ट. ठीक है? प्रीलिम्स इज सो सीडी का फोकस ये है कि वी वांट यू टू मास्टर ऑल द माइक्रो थीम्स. ठीक है? तो फोकस ही नहीं करना है पूरे सिलेबस पे रैंडमली. माइक्रो थीम्स को पूरा मास्टर कर लेना है. वंस यू मास्टर्ड द माइक्रो थीम्स देन यू कैन गो आगे पीछे कहीं भी. ठीक है? एक सवाल गलत नहीं होना चाहिए माइक्रो थीम से. एंड सेम इज द फोकस ऑन माइक्रो थीम्स का स्मैश मीन्स प्रोग्राम में, विच इज पार्ट ऑफ द यूएपी कोर्स. यू ग्रेड फ्रॉम यूएपी टू स्मैश मीन्स. उसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं रहता यार. फिर तो एक लक फैक्टर है जो कि अभी नथिंग कैन बी सेड अबाउट दैट. ठीक है? बट अपनी कुछ आंसर कॉपीज भी भेजना. ठीक है? सो दैट वी सी अपनी ऐसे की आंसर कॉपी इस वाले ग्रुप में भेजना. आई वुड लाइक टू सी कैसे लिखा है. ठीक है?
ठीक है सर.
Join the. ठीक है? जस्ट सेंड. बिल्कुल कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मतलब वी हैव सीन ऑल काइंड ऑफ पीपल. तो भेजना. अगर कुछ फंडामेंटल इशू होगा ना राइटिंग में तो मैं बता दूंगा. ठीक है? बाकी तो समथिंग विल गेट बेटर विद टाइम. ठीक है?
मेरा सर बस वही रिक्वेस्ट था, क्योंकि मेरी बीच में सिविल्सडेली टीम से बात भी हुई थी, बट वो सर एक फियर था कि क्योंकि अभी सर मतलब जो रियलिटी है कि मेंटरशिप के नाम पे बहुत सारा मार्केट में चल रहा है, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स आर नॉट राइट, जो लोगों को शायद पता बाद में चलता है करके.
I know, इसीलिए I showed the background. इसीलिए I showed the backend. Because mentorship is now equated as doubt solving only. डाउट आया तो मेंटर से बात कर लो, वरना तुम अपनी जगह, मेंटर अपनी जगह. That's एकदम बिल्कुल.
तो मेरा बस वही था सर कि if I get a guidance from the right person who can understand this journey, and like I am ready to do everything sir, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी पिछले 6-7 साल से, मतलब 4-5 साल से तो मैं थोड़ा कर रहा था, बट लास्ट के 2-3 साल तो मैंने किया है सर. मतलब इट इज आई हैव गिवन द एफर्ट.
नहीं आई शो दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई मैंने फालतू के 5 बार फ्रेमवर्क्स नहीं दिए यहाँ पे. वो कुछ नहीं होता. तुम मेंटर से बात करो, वो तुम्हारे को असली फ्रेमवर्क देगा. बिल्कुल स्कूल लेवल की रिपोर्ट कार्ड बन रही होती है यहाँ पे. एंड इफ यू आर नॉट हिटिंग योर टारगेट्स नो, एंड वी गेट टू नो फ्रॉम द सेंट्रलाइज्ड टेक, तो वी कैच अप द मेंटर कि व्हाट इज इट दैट यू आर नॉट एबल टू गेट थिंग्स डन फ्रॉम दिस पर्सन. क्या रीजन है? एंड सो ही हैज, तो वो फीडबैक नेटवर्क पूरा है. तो तू आ जा सिस्टम के अंदर. ऐसे तो मैं पढ़ाता हूँ. ठीक है? यू विल जॉइन द ग्रुप, यू विल सी द रिगर एट विच ऐसे इज बीइंग टॉट. अपनी कॉपी भी भेजना. ठीक है? एंड लेट्स एवरीवन एल्स भाई प्लीज स्टॉप डिवोटिंग 2 hours every day for the newspaper. ठीक है, ये तो अंकित भी बता देगा. वो एक साइकोलॉजिकल कंफर्ट होता है.
नहीं है सर इसका
तू
एट टाइम.
तू ही बता दे.
इवन इंटरव्यू में भी सर 2 घंटे पढ़ के न्यूज़पेपर व्हेन दे आस्क ओपिनियन देन वी कैन नॉट फॉर्म ओपिनियन, सो इट इज नॉट अबाउट
Yeah.
जस्ट रीडिंग.
Yes, that is why 6 months ago we created a magazine called Burning Issue, and we were like सिर्फ 15-20 इशू होते हैं मेंस लायक, वो भी बहुत स्ट्रेच करके बोल रहा हूँ, जिसमें एक्चुअली देयर आर लॉट ऑफ टेंशंस, यू नीड टू नो द थ्योरी, एंड वी विल डू ऑल द हार्ड वर्क फॉर यू सो दैट यू जस्ट हैव दोस 20 issues to flip. And Burning Issue magazines are also available for free, by the way. Sessions are for internal students only, समाचार मंथन के अंदर, but magazines are available for free. So that बेकार कंटेंट मत पढ़ो यार. पता है यूपीएससी इज बिकमिंग डिफिकल्ट even because every aspirant is fighting for a single mark. People are becoming so hardcore in their preparation, they're not letting go of half or single mark. You will get to realize this as you guys were writing in 26-27, as you reach closer to your exam. Every content is available for everyone. Okay, Ankit will tell you every content of every institute is available. फिर भी नहीं होता है लोगों का, because you don't know how to read that content और क्या retain करना है. ठीक है, I'm being absolutely open. We put in a lot of efforts, we make the content, and we see that content is out there in some Xerox shop, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. But we know that you don't understand how to use it. So uske liye you need a mentor. You need someone who's there practically, who's seen a lot of people. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you, Ankit, for coming. To baat kar yaar, we'll let you, get you in on the platform soon. Okay.
Sir, to whom should I, like, the team
Nisha,
only,
I
should I
think
message?
you can
There's
message.
a link in the chat box. That's a WhatsApp link. You can just drop your query in this link and you can write my name on WhatsApp. Like you want to talk to Nisha, I'll connect with you, right?
Hey, Nisha, can you take over like now and tell people about the, I think, UAP program if you can right now?
Yes, sir. I can. Okay.
Take your time and I'll let me answer. Do you recommend to stop reading newspapers? Yes, Akash, I do. We do recommend you to stop reading newspapers. The Samachar Manthan program is more than enough, which is a part of UAP. If you have a background of proper reading, मतलब देख अभी मैं बता था ना, I was taking essay classes, so these are the books I'm reading for essay, so that I give you anecdotes which are not found even on GPT. जीपीटी में भी करोगे ना तो तुमको वही यूजुअल एनेक्डोट्स ही मिलेंगे घुमा फिरा के. तो मैं थोड़ी एडवांस चीजें दिखाऊं इफ यू गाइस वांट मी टू. Nisha, whenever you're ready, let me know. तब तक let me show them
Yes,
something.
sir. Yes, sir.
Do you guys want to see something on essays? 5 minutes just to understand the level at which you will be performing. Yes, no, come on. Okay, awesome. Give me a moment then. ये अभी नहीं, डरना नहीं है, ठीक है इससे, बट समझना है कि गाड़ी यहाँ तक पहुंचानी है अपने को कुछ भी करके. तो अगेन इन दैट एसे ग्रुप आई वाज टेकिंग दी, अभी आज 5 बजे का सेशन हुआ था, ठीक है. आई जस्ट वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि किधर है मेच्योरिटी. तो यू विल सी सिर्फ 14% folks said कि scored good on essays, these are repeat rankers and I want the X factor lead. ठीक है, and everyone 42% कोई आइडिया नहीं है ऐसे का क्या चल रहा है पता नहीं. 24% नो बेसिक फ्रेमवर्क्स जो दुनिया जहान में बता रखे हैं लोगों ने, बट दे ऑफ नो यूज नाउ. ठीक है, एंड लॉट ऑफ पीपल, 20% पीपल हैव ऑल द ज्ञान बट दे नॉट एबल टू पुट इट ऑन पेपर. दिस इज द रियल प्रॉब्लम. एंड गाइज, इफ आई कैन नाउ गेट योर वीडियोज ऑन, अब तो इतनी बात होगी. एक वेटरन एस्पिरेंट आ गया कॉल पे तुम्हारी, बिल्कुल दिल खोल के गेट योर वीडियोज ऑन एवरीवन, unless you're in a compromising situation. Come on, I'll only move till I have 15 people with the videos on. But now I can end the webinar right here, right now. This is like bonus stuff, which I'm showing you. Ankesh, everyone who chatted with me should definitely open the video, yaar. Ankesh, Hariom, whoever wants me to continue with the essay thing. Chalo, cool. Good enough. So basically, आई डोंट नो आप में से किसने फिलोसॉफी ऑप्शनल लेने की सोची है या किसी का कुछ फिलोसफी में बैकग्राउंड है या नहीं है. आई क्रंच द लास्ट 3 years ऑफ essays एंड आई फाउंड आउट दैट चाहे ऐसे फिलोसॉफिकल हो या फिर थीमेटिक हो, इट इज सॉल्वेबल इजिली बाय अ डायलेक्टिक रीजनिंग. डायलेक्टिक रीजनिंग का मतलब होता है
अच्छा.
थीसिस, एंटीथीसिस एंड सिंथेसिस. ठीक है, किसी को पता है तो बताना, मतलब आई वुड बी रियली सरप्राइज्ड इफ यू गाइस नो. एंड तो I wanted to make them understand कि भाई ये pestle, temporal, stakeholder, SDG are just simple things, and Ankit out here will attest to it. You have to understand the heart of the essay, philosophical essays. These are not GS paper that you're preparing like this. हाँ Ankit, बताओ, do you know this dialectic framework?
सर वही है, लाइक जो ऐसे के पार्ट्स होते हैं उसको पहले एक तरह से सपोर्ट करना होता है, फिर उसके अगेंस्ट में हमको पॉइंट्स देने होते हैं कि इट इज नॉट एवरी टाइम करेक्ट, उसके अगेंस्ट में हमें कुछ पॉइंट देने हैं एंड उसको फाइनली कन्वर्ट करना होता है दोनों चीजों को मिला करके कि दोनों चीजें की ही जरूरत है, एंड फाइनली वी हैव टू गिव अ कंक्लूजन काइंड ऑफ.
Perfect. कितने आए थे ऐसे में तुम्हारे?
सर 121 आए थे.
बहुत अच्छे नंबर है यार इस वाले पेपर में. द वन विच जस्ट
यस सर,
जिसमें
अभी हाँ
देखो,
2024 में 121 थे.
अरे बहुत सही मार्क्स हैं यार. दीज आर अबव एवरेज मार्क्स बाय द वे. Hemant Mishra, who will be teaching Smash Mains this year to a lot of people who are writing mains, उसके आए थे 133. नहीं, 113. 113 आए थे उसके. And he has
Okay.
mains के marks 20 marks over rank 1. बहुत अच्छे
Okay.
नंबर है. तू बात कर, तेरा हो ही जाना चाहिए अगले साल. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you that forget about that. We have a lot of hit ratio, right? But we also figured out just one framework जिसको master करना है. And that is the thesis, जो simple words में बता दिया अभी अंकित ने. Now I will tell you और क्या एक्स फैक्टर होते हैं. ठीक है, तो आई टेक यू थ्रू द एक्चुअल एसे. तो ये एसे मैंने लिखा है, विच इज अवेलेबल इन दैट ग्रुप ऑल्सो फॉर एवरीवन. क्वेश्चन आता है 2022 का, दैट हिस्ट्री इज अ सीरीज ऑफ विक्ट्रीज वन बाय द साइंटिफिक मैन ओवर द रोमांटिक मैन. ठीक है, बेसिकली फंडा यही है. इसका जो द्वंद है, जो टेंशन है, वो है हेड ओवर हार्ट की. ठीक है, रैशनैलिटी या एम्पैथी, साइंस वर्सेस पोएट्री, फिलोसफी, बेसिकली लेस ऑब्जेक्टिव साइंसेस जो होती हैं. And so, when I first say this, people talk about Galileo, people talk about Newton, how people who observed facts objectively, they took the next leap forward. ठीक है, बट वो मिस कर देते हैं उसमें रोमांस क्या था. एंड लुक एट दिस एग्जाम्पल विच वी गॉट. आप में से अगर किसी ने नेटफ्लिक्स पे मेहमद वाली डॉक्यूमेंट्री देखी है, वेयर ऑटोमन एम्पायर फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम वन ओवर द कॉन्स्टेंटिनोपल, तो आपको पता लगेगा कि दैट वाज ऑफन मार्क्ड एज द एंड ऑफ मिडिल एजेस. Mehmed was among the first guys जिसने आर्टिलरी को अडॉप्ट किया था, एंड ही ब्रोक डाउन द वॉल्स ऑफ ऑटोमन एम्पायर विच वाज रोमांटिसाइज्ड बाय क्रिश्चियंस टू बी इम्पेनिट्रेबल. ठीक है, तो जो तुम्हारा एनेक्डोट होना चाहिए ना, वो ऐसी पावरफुल एनेक्डोट होना चाहिए ना कि उसको पढ़ के बिल्कुल 9 रस जग जाएं रीडर के. तो इट्स लाइक अ मूवी. तो अभी एनेक्डोट्स खुद से तो नहीं आएंगे अनलेस यूर अ वेल इन्फॉर्म्ड रीडर. तो उसके लिए यू नीड एक्स फैक्टर नोट्स ऑन एसेस, एंड वो एकदम प्रीलिम्स के बाद से नहीं होंगे. सो यू नीड अ ईयर लॉन्ग प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सम काइंड ऑन दैट. ठीक है, अब देखो तुम थीसिस से पहले फिलोसॉफिकल अंडरपिनिंग. तो दो ऑप्शन होते हैं, या तो स्टूडेंट डिफाइन करता है व्हाट डू आई अंडरस्टैंड बाय द स्टेटमेंट, या फिर वी टेक हेल्प ऑफ सम फिलोसोफर्स. You know, one philosopher said something on the thesis, few philosophers said something on the antithesis, and so now let's try to build this over together. Then comes the thesis. अब बताता हूं मैं कैसे पुराने फ्रेमवर्क्स बेकार हैं बिल्कुल. थीसिस में 3 पॉइंट्स हैं ग्लोबल और 3-4 पॉइंट्स हैं इंडियन. तो ग्लोबल पॉइंट्स हैं कि 16th सेंचुरी में गैलीलियो प्रूव द चर्च रॉन्ग बिकॉज ही सॉ. सबको पता है ना ये. अब इसको लिखने का तरीका देखो. द लाइन एंड्स विद दैट द आइडिया ऑफ अथॉरिटी इटसेल्फ बिगिन टू क्रम्बल फ्रॉम फेथ टू एविडेंस. दिस इज द विन ऑफ द साइंटिफिक मैन ओवर द क्लर्गी. ठीक है, चमका सबको? यस नो कर दो. आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इट लाइक अ बेसिक पर्सन. मतलब ऐसे आपने लिखा नहीं है, बट यू विल अंडरस्टैंड द पंच ऑफ इट. Then I talk about that not just in religion versus science, even in health, even with someone like Florence Nightingale, who was hailed as a pioneer nurse. सुना होगा नाम आप लोगों ने. Even she had her own limitation with respect to what is good for patients. She believed in miasma theory. Miasma theory, if there are any doctors here, I think there was one doctor here. Miasma theory is about कि clean air, हवा का circulation सही रहे and everything will be fine. But नहीं है. Louis Pasteur found out that sterilize करो, sanitize करो ढंग से, and the death rate plummeted. Then we talk about World War II, where a group of physicists built the bomb in the lab. And वहां पे generals in the army were trying to motivate their battalions with motivation and nationalism, की war cries and whatnot. And just like that, the war ended. With these examples, I've shown that science has won over romanticism. Correct? Are you guys with me? I mean, समझ में आई ना, फील तो आ रही है कि ये हो गया यहाँ पे. Correct? But I have also introduced temporality in this. I've talked about an example from 16th century. I've talked about an example from 18th century, and then I've talked about World War II, 19th century. So temporal, testal are no frameworks, yeah. They're just categories from which you can gather examples. तुम्हें पहले अपनी thesis पकड़ के आनी चाहिए, and then I talk about India के examples, but I very quickly brush over a lot of things. And I last में end करता हूँ. India's romantic view on destiny and divine intervention was replaced with planning and scientific thinking to prove a point that science की जगह romance से ऊपर है. अब जैसे कि अंकित ने बताया कि then you have to think about antithesis also, और वो lip service नहीं होनी चाहिए, वो proper antithesis होनी चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप हल्के में कुछ बोल रहे हैं कि but it is also not that good. That is a GS answer. जिसका मेन कोर होता है वो कर दो, एंड देन छोटा सा एक लाइन में कंस्ट्रेंट या हैंडीकैप बता दो और फिर लास्ट में वे फॉरवर्ड बता दो. एसेज आर नॉट लाइक दैट. सो इट वुड बी बेटर अगर आप एंटीथीसिस ढंग से बनाओ. तो अंबेडकर का मेंशन थीसिस में भी आता है, एंड द सेम अंबेडकर गेट्स मेंशन्ड हियर, where he wants that the constitution, even though constitution ban gaya pura, it is beyond all those old fundas, it is now on rights and liberty and equality. But he mentions that constitution morality is not a natural sentiment. It has to be cultivated, because of which governments have to push that idea via various schemes and programs and PR and whatnot. You getting the crux of the essay? I have taken the thesis. I have done justice to the thesis. I have also taken the antithesis. Sometimes romance wins. I've talked about Gandhi, whose belief in non-violent satyagraha was ridiculed by everyone. But his romance was the only right thing to do at that point of Indian history. ठीक है? तो ये thesis antithesis का play, and that's it. And then I go for synthesis when I end my essay. And in the synthesis, I play a master stroke. That the Mehmet II, जिसको हमने वहां पे बहुत साइंटिफिक बंदा बताया था, who broke all the walls, was actually a romantic at heart as well. उसको बचपन से सपना था ये कि boss, I have to bridge east and west together. So he studied under scholars of both the geographies, understood the culture, was fascinated by it, and wanted to be the conqueror. And that is the synthesis. That epoch-defining leaders, they use science to fulfill a romantic vision. ये लेवल पे आप जो 26 से 27 को दे रहे हो, once you become a part of a program, this is the level you will come at. और बताऊं, tonight I won't go deep into this. ये सब X factor notes मिलते हैं for essays. But and then this is a thematic essay. तो वो तो philosophical essay था. ये thematic essay. Forests are the best case studies for economic excellence. Thematic essay का मतलब पता है ना, इसमें थोड़ा बहुत आपका GS की knowledge लगेगी. You need to have some idea about that theme. और GS की knowledge इसलिए लगेगी क्योंकि one of the ranker in that video told me that मैंने क्या लिखा सर, I said कि in Mahabharat that there was a particular forest which had to be burned down so that Pandavas will get Khandav Pras या कुछ था, so that Pandavas will get place and whatever wood to run and build their empire वगैरह था. So I said that forests have to give way for the growth, but he was wrong, क्योंकि यहाँ पे thematically जो point है वो economic excellence का है. So you have to know something about what economic excellence can mean. वरना आप फॉरेस्ट को कैसे कंपेयर करोगे that they are good case studies for economic excellence. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत thematic information आनी जरूरी है. ठीक है? Once you have that, then you'll apply the same dialectic approach, thesis, antithesis, synthesis. एंड इमेजिन आपको अगले 1-1.5 साल में इसी पे ट्रेन करना है। आपको रैंडम पेस्टल टेम्पोरल एसडीजी ये सब नहीं पढ़ना है आपको, टाइम वेस्ट करोगे। और लो बोनस, एथिक्स में देयर आर दीज क्वेश्चंस व्हिच कम, हे अंकित हाउ वाज योर एथिक्स पेपर?
सर 118 था।
118 था, अब बेटर हो सकता है।
हाँ सर, बेटर तो हो सकता है सर 118 से। मतलब बहुत चीजें हैं जो मैंने मिस की थी, वो बाद में मुझे रिग्रेट हो रहा था, बट ये तो है सर, इम्प्रूव तो करना, इम्प्रूव आराम से हो सकता था सर।
Okay, अब ethics में there's a category of question which comes every year, 10-marker question, which are like given are the 3 quotations of great thinkers. What do each of these quotations convey to you in the present context, like in our day and age? Think of this now. विवेकानंद अगर कोई quotation दे रहे हैं तो उन्होंने मतलब कुछ synthesis किया होगा ना यार. He would have taken two opposite point of views or multiple point of views and would have come to a synthesis. That is the gyan he's giving to you. So if you have to deconstruct him, and if you're good, well versed with the dialectic technique, you can easily do it. You have now a framework to solve even the ethics questions. I mean, just try to make life easier for yourself. यूपीएससी एग्जाम एज इज बहुत रैंडम chaos मचाता है लाइफ में। जो चीजें आसान हो गए फ्रेमवर्क लेवल पे सॉल्व हो रही है ना, उनको सॉल्व करो उस पे, उन पे मत उसको मुश्किल करने दो। एंड पता है, यू विल सी हाउ if you start thinking like this, if you start thinking in terms of microtheme को prioritize करना है, PYQs पे बिल्कुल पागल हो जाना है, ठीक है, आंसर राइटिंग डे 1 से स्टार्ट करनी है, essays में like classes I take, you only have to go for dialectic reasoning, and then I'll teach you about, like this book I'm studying is basically a book on why conservatism is good, better than liberal dialogues. सोचो, such an anti book for this era. ये बंदा actually conservatism defend कर रहा है, but let's read his thesis, his arguments. Once you have those arguments, your essays will be so powerful. तभी, if you guys have read Vikram Grewal's essays, आप पागल हो जाओगे यार, वो क्या फोड़ू आदमी है, वो फ्रेमवर्क ही ब्रेक कर दे रहा है फिर। ये संकेत
सर एक चीज बस कहनी थी, आपने विक्रम ग्रेवाल सर का नाम लिया था, उनके ऐसे को पढ़ के सर मुझे लगा कि द डे आई विल रीच टू दिस इट इज आउटस्टैंडिंग सर, वो अनबिलीवेबल ऐसे हैं सर।
या the day, so you have to, पता है, you have to cross through all this thing, all the journey. अब ये आपके ऊपर है, आप 1 साल में करो, 2 साल में करो, 3 साल में करो, you take wrong turns, whatever, but the day you're at that level ना, not just IAS rank, अंदर भी मजा आएगा लबसना में। वरना पूछो अपने qualified दोस्तों से, they have to, some of them love what they're doing and some of them don't. जो people who don't, they just perish, बहुत बुरा हाल हो जाता है फिर। तो जो एग्जाम निकालने जा रहे हो उस एग्जाम में पनौती बन जाओगे, ठीक है। आई जस्ट शेयर ऑल ऑफ दिस आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट बाय द वे, वो तो अंकित आ गया कॉल पे, तो आई गॉट टू शेयर ऑल द एडवांस स्टफ आल्सो। अंकित सर, दिस इज हाउ वी गोना प्रिपेयर यू फॉर योर नेक्स्ट अटेम्प्ट व्हिच यू आर गोइंग टू गिव नेक्स्ट ईयर।